All right, so this is a very important video just because I always see this show up on, as questions on these Facebook pages, different Facebook groups I'm in and stuff like that. People are always talking about the splits, their bonuses, commissions, salaries, how you should pay salespeople. And I'll tell you there's no right or wrong way, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about the pros and cons of each way of paying them, how you may want to set it up for your company, especially when you're first getting started, how you can kind of recruit people, the way you pay, stuff like that. By the way, I was looking at some of my videos I've been shooting in this. Man, I have gained some weight. I mean, part of my travels over the last 5 years is I actually completed a through hike of the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine in 2021. And I mean, I'm always normally in shape, but I was ripped when I got finished. I lost 24 pounds, which, again, I always try to stay in shape, but it's been like 6 months since I finished the trail, and I feel like I'm getting a little puffy again. Anyway, let's get started. I mean, again, I just took off work 6 months to go hike the trail. That's why I'm telling you guys to listen to me. Listen to me. I don't know everything, but I can help you build an awesome company where you can go do adventures like that. Like go take off for 6 months and go hike the Appalachian Trail, which is a bucket list item for most people. And I did it when I was 36 years old while running a successful construction company, and we still did almost $2 million in revenue last year, even though revenue is not the most important number. The point is it happened. Okay, so let's talk about salaries, commissions, and bonuses and your sales staff and how you're going to pay people. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about, paying your office staff too, even though I did tell you a little bit about outsourcing, how to pay them. But the point is this video is just based on, how you're going to pay people. Okay, so the most common way that most people pay their salespeople in the roofing industry is as a 1099. Okay, and I talked to you about this when it comes to subcontractors and hiring your own roofers, putting people on payroll. It's very similar to salespeople. If you give them office hours on times they have to come in every day, clothes they have to wear, rules and regulations, the whole 9 yards, that is, you're flirting with being a double W-2 employee, which means you have to pay them salary, you have to maybe pay them bonuses, you have to put them on payroll. All those things that come into putting a W-2 and having them rules and regulations and all that stuff, they're gonna have to do that, okay? And you're gonna have to pay that extra money. Or you hire people as 1099, okay? If you hire them W-2, salaries, bonuses. If you hire them 1099, you're gonna pay them basically bonuses or splits, okay? So typically a W-2 is hired, they're gonna get a salary, a reasonable number, and then they're gonna get paid a percentage of the jobs they sell. If they're not selling enough and they're not making enough money for your company, then you're gonna have to let them go based on salary. And if you're paying salary, it means every single week, as soon as you hire them, you got to start paying them. Okay, that can get really expensive. So if you are a company that's just starting out and you don't have a lot of startup costs, a startup money to start your business, that's probably not the way you're going to be able to recruit and hire people as W-2. Now you're going to have more of a say-so when you hire W-2 employees. You can give them working hours, you can give them quotas, you can give them times they have to be in the office, times they have to be in the field. You can do all that. They have to run certain leads for you. They have to go out and door knock so many hours. They have to go meet insurance agents, whatever. You can do that with a W-2 employee, but a 1099, you can't. Okay, so W-2, but you're going to have to pay them for that. You're going to pay them for that right and that privilege. Okay, now a 1099, a 50-50 split is, that's the most common way of paying almost any roofing salesman that works for your company is as a subcontractor doing all these quote things, okay? So that's going to be the most common way. Again, you go to recruit that rock star that I told you about, you got to figure out what he needs, what he wants. Maybe he's looking for a salary. Maybe he wants to see salary and benefits because, you know what, he's got a family now. He's tired of paying his own medical and health insurance. Maybe he wants you to pay for it. Maybe that works for you, maybe it doesn't. All right, but the most common way is to do a 50-50 split with a 1099. Of course, you lose the right on giving them exactly what time they have to show up, how many deals they have to sign per month. You can tell them what you would like for them to do. You can tell them things that would be okay for them to do, but they don't have to follow any of those rules, because if you start making those rules, again, you have to switch them over to W-2, okay? Guys, I recommend if you're starting up your company with not a lot of money and you're getting overwhelmed with run with leads and you need somebody to help you, I would look at doing a 50-50 split subcontractor and hiring them. And what I also would recommend doing is having them get their own general liability policy and their own workers' comp as an individual. Trust me when I tell you, that's going to save you a lot of heartache, just like with your roofing subcontractors. Have them get their own policy, because if you don't, you're going to be liable at the end of the year. We had a salesman who was a 1099 who worked for us, and he did nothing but sell. He was not allowed to climb on a roof, because we learned if you climb up on a roof, sometimes workers' comp can say, hey, if they climb up on a roof, they're a roofer, because roofing was in our name. I kid you not. This happened. This guy made a lot of money one year for us. He made well in excess of over $100,000 that we paid him, okay? At the end of the year, he didn't have his own workers' comp policy. He had his own general liability policy, but we got a bill from workers' comp for about $40,000 because he was classified as a roofer because we were paying him, even though he was a subcontractor. He didn't have his own workers' comp policy, and we were paying him a lot of money. And I said, whoa. Hey, he's just a project manager / salesperson. Like, he doesn't do any roofing. They said, well, your roofing's in your name. Guys, I'm telling you, workers' comp is a scam, and I can't tell you how much it makes me mad half the time. And I'm trying to save you a lot of headache from what we dealt with, okay? So every person who does any work from you, if it's a salesperson, unless they're an in-person staff or they live outside the United States, make them get their own workers' comp and general liability policy. I probably spent 100 hours of my time getting together documents, proving things, having pictures of him where he's not on a roof, showing jobs, like I'm talking about documenting jobs that he'd done in the past, like, showing our CRM tool where he was uploading. I mean, I spent all this time just trying to prove, like, in my as an owner, like, your time is valuable. Like, you're talking about 100 hours of your time that you could be spending doing productive things was things that I was spending just trying to keep my company from getting screwed by from our workers' comp policy, okay? At the end of the day, we lost. They classified him as a roofing contractor. Even though he had a drone, he was not allowed to climb on roofs. He never swung a hammer a day in his life, and they still classified him as a roofer. I got it reduced from $40,000 down to $20,000, and we ended up having to terminate him as an employee after it was all over, just because it just didn't end up working out for both of us, and he didn't want to get his own workers' comp policy. Guys, if you're bringing guys in, do the due diligence on how much the policy is going to cost. Go ahead and get them set up to where they can call somebody. Here's the thing. If somebody gets their own workers' comp policy and they get their own general liability as a 1099, it's set correctly as just a salesperson or project manager, it's going to be pennies on the dollar. Like, it's going to be hardly any money. Make them get that, because if you're on the hook for it, you can go ahead. I mean, at the end of that, I think it was our second year in business. We got that bill at the end of the year. I mean, when you think that you just had a really great year, and all of a sudden you take what we thought was a $40,000 hit, it ended up being a $20,000 hit. I mean, it just crushes your soul as a business owner, because you think that you did so much money in profit, and you've worked your ass off to make that happen, and you've taken sacrifices, and you're not paying yourself, and you're not paying, which we're going to talk about at the end of the video about paying yourself. But you've done all these sacrifices, and you've made all these smart moves, and I'm telling you, it's deflating. It's rough. And I don't want to see that happen to you guys. I want to save you some heartache. So if anything, at the end of this, recommend doing 50-50 splits, hiring 1099s. I would stay away from doing salaries and commissions until you have an established business, and then make your own guys get their own, not through you, get their own general liability and workers' comp policies.